Okay, okie doke. What's good, everybody? What's good? It's Glorious Day for Guilty Gear Strive. Hot after Evo, and also hot after just going over the Resucia trailer, the MK1 patch notes. There's plenty of patch notes to go over, including Unity 2 patch notes. But today we're going to focus on some Guilty Gear Strive patch notes. And you notice, not a very large patch in terms of character changes, but there's certainly some universal changes we're going to want to go over here. I saw at the top. This is my first time seeing a lot of them. I've heard some things. Someone told me that Potemkin is now a character, apparently, which I would argue Potemkin has always been a character, but I digress. Here we are with, what is this, 19 characters, I think? Before, let's see, 15? Yep, 19 characters total in the patch notes, so fairly short. So let's go over this here. It's going to be a little bit different than what I traditionally do. I'm not going to go over, I mean, depending. We'll see what the patch notes share. But for the most part, let me turn down Guilty Gear a little bit more here. And let's have a chat about the universal changes. We'll start at the top. And if there is anything that, you know, catches my eye that needs to be tested in terms of character specifics, I will absolutely boot up Guilty Gear Strive and do that. In fact, let me bring the camera down just a bit more here. Just a bit. It's like crooked or whatever, but you know what? You don't know. I know. There we go. Okay, so game mechanics overall changes. There's been a few changes to game mechanics. We've made adjustments to the properties of the new Wild Assault mechanic added in Season 3, as well as to the burst gauge in relation to it. We've also made changes relating to roaming cancel for invincible moves, which were highly effective for comebacks. Wild Assault, when a Wild Assault triggers a wall break, the opponent can now tech after the area shifts, so no more hard knockdown. Means you need to trigger a wall break with an overdrive in order to create an advantageous situation to continue your offense after, making it more challenging to keep up an extended offense using large amounts of tension gauge. This is something that I think they're going to continue to work on over time, because Wild Assault, when it first came out in its original iteration, I think was really powerful, was really potent. It really changed up the meta around the burst gauge and how players use it. The changes now where instead of like a full burst gauge coming back off positive bonus or what have you, like you could still just rebuild it over time now. This in particular, you'd see a lot of players opt for Wild Assault to get that next hard knockdown situation to go for a kill with tension, and by the time they start off the next round, they'd have a full stock of Wild Assault again. So this gives the opportunity for the player to not get snowballed so easily and forces tension usage, because then you see a lot of cases where players would just save tension for YRC to get out of bad situations as opposed to using burst for its intended emergency option. We've also made individual adjustments to both red and white Wild Assaults. They both maintain their strengths upon landing a hit while weakening the situation after a block. The red, I don't think, is necessarily the worst. So reduce momentum when blocked, making it more challenging to continue your offense. So you just can't be relentless with it and crank up on someone's risk gauge. So that's something we want to take a look at here in particular is, I may actually want to boot it up here. Is that by this, it probably means that you could challenge right after red Wild Assault instead of being able to go into string. White Wild Assault is now minus on block, meaning it ends the offensive player's turn. So it's just more challenging. So this is how they kind of just differentiate it. So white Wild Assault, you use it, it ends your turn if blocked. So then that means I can just press right after. Blue Wild Assault remains the same. It does get that guard break situation, so you're more advantageous. Okay, so reduce momentum when blocked. So I guess that just means like it's not going to have that immediate follow-up after, you know, how red Wild Assault, you just kind of keep going with your Gatling sequence. Burst gauge, we've reduced the rate of natural gain over time as well as upon wall stick. Interesting. This reduces the overall amount of burst gauge available throughout the match, meaning Wild Assault and Psych Burst need to be used more strategically. Roaming cancel for invincible moves. Invincible moves and counters can be used as reversals without tension gauge, can no longer be roaming canceled in any situation. No way! This means you will always have the chance to punish them as long as you block them. And the player can no longer go for damaging combos when they hit. So, Volcanic Viper, Red RC, no more. Flash Kick from Leo Whitefang, Red RC, No more. However, they've also gained throw invincibility, making them more powerful as a reversal than before. Oh. There are some exceptions to this, with counter moves not gaining throw invincibility. For characters who have an S and a slash and heavy slash version of their invincible moves, heavy slash versions no longer have invincibility. The properties of these moves, such as their scaling and slowdown effect, have been adjusted in line with the rules for non-invincible moves. Overdrives can still be roaming canceled. Okay, so that's the one reversal rule that remains. Character adjustments. We've made improvements to some characters who struggled to reach their full potential. This applies to the following characters: Axel, Potemkin, Zato, Testament, Batman, Johnny, and Elfeld. A major balance update with changes for all characters is planned for late October to November. So we still have another patch on the way. Wall stick triggers reduce the amount of burst gauge gained by the player stuck to the wall. So you're gonna have to be more cautious on burst gauge. So that's interesting, very interesting. Decreased gain rate over time. Wild Assault all versions, the opponent now recovers after wall break is triggered by Wild Assault, sped up the timing when the activation effect is displayed. Less affected by momentum when blocked on red Wild Assault, increased hit stop duration, decreased knockback when performed uncharged. The knockback of the charged version remains unchanged. Remove guard crush effect, decreased recovery. Due to the removal of the guard crush effect, the player will now be at disadvantage after Wild Assault is blocked. That's pretty big. All this is pretty big. So, Volcanic Viper slash versions only changes made universal adjustments to invincible moves. Can no longer roam and cancel invincible to throws. So you can't throw the DP. They give it and they take it at the same time. I personally am a big fan of being able to throw DPs. If you get a hard read on someone making a DP attempt, I guess a bit of this is just to prevent feeling overwhelmed on defense, feeling helpless, or not even just like, because this is also like on a wake up opportunity, right? So feeling like you're being bullied with a RC opportunity, this also just weakens the DP into RC, which is now no longer a thing. But it just, that was my thing. I don't know. That seems kind of like an iffy choice across the board for characters like this here, because you're removing strike invincibility here, which that was the slash version already weakened by anyways. Heavy was a commitment. I would have liked to have seen just like, you can't roam and cancel this anymore. That would have been really ideal, but here we are. Slowdown effect no longer ends on hit, no longer a counter hit state after active frames end, decreased base damage scaling, decreased combo blowback scaling, decreased amount of wall break value gain, increased amount of tension gauge upon activating the move. Same thing for Kai, just universal adjustments, no longer roam and cancel, throw invincibility. Oh, you know what? No. Okay, no, I'm misreading this. Excuse me. I am bummed you can't throw slashes, but also it does give like a good get off of me option. So someone has to make a backdash to really call out the slash DP, or just block your opponent's wake up. Okay. It's not bad, as bad as I thought, because I thought it was both the slash and heavy slash version, but heavy slash, you're just getting strike invincibility removed. So it's not as potent to do the heavy version. Grounded vapor thrust, the slash version, decreased launch height on counter hit. All right. The only change is a fix for an issue. Wonderful dynamic Gosho Gawara. Fix an issue where there was no usage restrictions set. It could no longer be used in succession upon clash. Oh. Axel changes. He can now go for additional damage after landing a poke if the player makes the correct decision. On grounded hit, standing heavy slash now launches the opponent on hit, making it possible to combo into sickle flash and other moves. You can now go for extra damage and better situational advantage by going for standing heavy slash instead of crouching heavy slash. Okay, when appropriate after far standing slash. Okay, so when appropriate. Because now standing heavy slash will get a launch, so you do sickle flash right after. That's pretty interesting. Blowback after an aerial hit of jumping slash no longer slams the opponent down, making it possible to hit with aerial snail. The projectile from the charged version of Whistling Wind now moves faster, creating opportunities to approach the opponent in situations such as oh my gosh, excuse me, Afterwind Cherry or Axle Bomber. Very good, very good. Crouching P, decrease knockback, maximum range. Far standing slash, decrease horizontal blowback distance on aerial hit, added launch effect on grounded hit. Decrease horizontal blowback distance on aerial hit and jump slash, increased launch height on aerial hit. I'm not yawning. I yawned, I'm sorry. Snail, on counter hit, the opponent can no longer recover after landing. Ooh. Snail is just, Snail is the one that goes over, right? Because it's Rensen that goes upwards. Snail is the over. Double check. How dare I? Not know. Sickle Flash is a toss. Soaring Chain. Spinning Chain. Winter Cherry. Winter Mantis. Rainwater. Yep, I was right. Snail is the... No, I had it the other way. Aerial Snail is the downward one. Snail is this one. And I keep calling it Rensen all the time. Did they list it as the Sickle Flash as Rensen? Yes, they did. Oh man, that's why I call it all Rensen. Extended duration of time limit for triggering Wall Break. It's now easier to wall break after hitting opponent at a slight distance from the corner. That makes sense for Axel. Can no longer be roaming canceled, and added throw invincibility to his Beta Blade. All right, so Chip, just easy. Potemkin, apparently hefty changes for Potemkin here. There are more opportunities now to get it in range for Potemkin Buster. He can go for Okazemi from more situations because the opponent can no longer attack after standing Heavy Slash and Hammerfall on hit. Heavily Potemkin Buster now deals more guaranteed damage, making it a viable option to finish off the opponent. The changes to the movement direction in Super Flash also make it easier to grab opponents at a low height. Good lord. Reduce lower range of proximity required for attack to connect. That's heavy. Heavily Potemkin Buster. Adjusted angle of the leap, lord. Adjusted timing of the grab to be simultaneous with the leap. Super Flash shorter with the invincibility duration extending to after the Super Flash. So it made it easier to combo into Heavenly Potemkin Buster. That's really nice for pop players. On aerial hit, the opponent can no longer recover after landing. Yeah, because standing heavy is the chop, right? Ba, ba, ba. Yeah. Interesting. Very fun. Jump Dust, reduced lower hurt box. That's pretty cool, actually. Ground throw standardized distance after successful throw mid-screen regardless of opponent character. Decreased launch height after ground bounce. Slide head no longer triggers opponent blocking pose after the attack startup. The opponent can no longer recover after landing from the hammerfall, which is interesting. I wonder why they did that. Reduce lower range of proximity. Oh, I already read that one here. Milia Rage. The only change was tandem. Is to improve the controls. Increase input priority when performed. Using quick command after Miraz. Miraz? Ooh. Miraz is her new move? Oh no, Miraz is the dash. Command dash. This makes it less likely to trigger Lust Shaker when performing the forward slash quickly after Miraz. Okay. Fair enough. So just to make it better to cancel the tandem top after that. All right, cool. Zato, are you real now? He can better start his offense now after the opponent blocks attacks from Zato or Eddie from long range. Eddie's forward movement speed has increased, making it easier for him to approach the opponent while they are blocking an attack from Zato. The down-down input now functions differently during breaking the law. Moving Zato to Eddie's current position. Moving while the opponent is blocking "That's a Lot" or leap allows him to approach while in an advantageous situation. When his offense is interrupted by a Psych Burst in YRC, the Eddie gauge now starts replenishing, starting from the remaining gauge value at that point. Okay. Takes less time now before Eddie can be resummoned after returning to neutral from such situations. Recovery time remains unchanged after Eddie takes an attack. When hit with blue Psych Burst or yellow Roman Cancel, Eddie left gauge now recovers, starting for, increase forward movement speed. Decrease attack startup on Pierce, that's the pokies. Break the law. Down moves Zato to Eddie's current position. He can only move to a grounded position, not midair. That is some mixed potential if you've got Eddie on the opposite side of the opponent, thanks to leap, right? You go for a break the law, down, and you're on the opposite side. No longer Roman canceling. Get duffed. I'm also noticing all of them? Hold on. All of them, right? Invincible moves and counters that can be used as reversals without tension gauge. So the heavies can still be roaming cancel then, right? Let me boot up this guilty gear. We're gonna go to the bottom of this right now. Oh no! Everything's busted. Let me hide my Guilty Gear notes for a second here. Gonna be weird. Bear with me, I might be a little iffy. I'm learning on leaderless now, so Junk Food Arcade had their snack box micro with arcade sale, and I grabbed one. But also, I am very much learning how to be effective on leaderless, so bear with me if I'm not immediately accurate with my inputs.
Rain. Who dares to enter the mayhem? Soul Bad Guy. Kai Keith.
But okay, that one. Okay, so you can still, okay. We got a little bit of misunderstanding. So I guess there was no avoiding this. So slash version you can't heal. Heavy version you can. I'm trying. Alright, I've learned exactly what I was looking to learn. Okay. Where we leave off? So yeah, Ice and Storm can be removed. Strike, invincibility, throw. Nagoriyuki is where we left off. Jumping heavy slash. Fix an issue causing the visual length of the blade not to change in proportion to the blood gauge. This is no change to the properties on the move though, so just visual bug. Pulled up for Nago. The only change made is a fix for an issue for Anji. Midare, the quarterback. Midare. Oh, the new move, the koi fish. Fix an issue causing a slowdown effect, not to end on hit. Can no longer Roman cancel Hiraki, the parry. Offense incorporating the succubus has been made more effective for Testament. The adjustment to the blowback of a ground throw adds extra advantage afterwards. They have access to more variety in Okazemi now. The succubus no longer appears after using possession. They can now approach using possession in situations such as after Grave Reaper slash and still incorporate the succubus. Reduced recovery also makes it more effective as part of a tricky offense. Oh, that's the teleport. Okay. Crouching slash has decreased knockback. Crouching heavy slash decreased attack startup. Decreased horizontal blowback distance with ground throw and launch height. Stain adjusted to hit regardless of the opponent's hurt box position. Grounded Grave Reaper slash version increased horizontal movement speed after changing to Succubus form. Succubus will now be set at a farther away position. Adjusted blowback when hitting a knockdown opponent. This increases the advantage slightly. Expanded hitbox behind for the projectile part of the attack. Possession all versions. The Succubus no longer disappears from teleporting the Succubus position. Extended duration. The Succubus remains after teleporting to the Succubus's position. Decreased recovery. Arbiter sign, all versions, extended homing range, now hit even from maximum range. That's weird that it didn't before. Bridget, just star shit. Changes here. Same for Sin, just DP, can no longer be Roman canceled on the follow-up of Hawkbaker. Gazelle Step can no longer be Roman canceled when performed after Hawkbaker. Okay. Batman. Improvements to aerial neutral make it easier to get in close to the opponent. Fight to seize. The additional forward movement speed of forward jump makes it possible to jump in on the opponent from farther distances. Jump slash now has a vacuum effect, meaning Batman can get into close range from a single aerial hit. There are now more opportunities to start combos after mix-up as jumping D launches on ground and hit. Forward jump increased movement distance. Close slash has a changed effect. Interesting. Now triggers aerial hit state when another attack connects during a set duration after a hit. Decreased knockback on far slash. Jump best. Added vacuum effect when coming into contact with the opponent. Decreased attack startup. Expanded lower hitbox and hurt box. Just to launch opponent on grounded hit with jump dust. Right, for Asuka, only changes is the Aquila Metron, which is just the DP. DP card if you got that. Johnny has received improvements to his mobility and pressure during footsies. The reduced recovery on his forward dash makes it easier to close in on the opponent. Grounded misfire all versions now triggers the counter effect. On counter hit, grounded misfire K version can now be followed up with Joker Trick and other attacks. Very good. Better dash, standing heavy slash has expanded frontal hitbox. That's the direction Johnny is facing. Grounded misfire, counter hack, and blow. Wow. Counter hit, not counter hack. I read blowback and counter. Okay. Aerial misfire, just a blowback. Direction match Johnny is facing. Ground misfire, counter hit effect, counter hit effect. Deal mid-air, heavy slash during vault. Holding heavy slash now performs the move at the earliest time available. Okay, cool. Her moves are overall more viable for Elfelt Valentine, making it easier for her to create positive situations with Chain Lollipop. When the opponent blocks the beginning of grounded Miss Charlotte all versions, she can create distance at low risk. Miss Charlotte out of repair creates a better situation on hit, making it easier to perform close slash or here I go. Meaty bomb bomb chocolate launches the opponent on hit. No, here I go meaty. That was a different sentence entirely. Miss Charlotte creates a better situation on hit, making it easier to perform close slash or here I go meaty. Bomb chocolate reduces the opponent, launches the opponent on hit, leading more easily into combos. Crouch punch has decreased attack startup. It's a little bit faster. How much faster? I'm talking. Four frames? 4 frames start by 2B? Good lord. Far slash adjusted to be less effective at dash momentum. Set backward movement distance for grounded Miss Charlotte. Yeah, that's just a gunshot here. Miss Charlotte out of repair. Decrease horizontal blowback distance. Bomb chocolate adjusted to launch opponent on ground and hit. And bomb Benair. So okay, cool. That's super. You blow people up, not bad. Very light patch notes here, just mostly adjusting the changes to roaming cancel, but also Axel looking fairly nice here. Potemkin doesn't seem to be too much changing for this character outside of some of these, like Hammerfall being more oppressive, slide head. You're not going to be stuck in blocks, so opponents get to move more. Also Heavenly Potemkin Buster being, this probably just makes it easier to combo into, which I think only makes sense here. And standing heavy slash also sniping people out of the sky is pretty good. The change for Zato seems very good, right? To call out the Eddie to immediately recover instead of be dead on YRC. Testament changes will be interesting. Batman, Johnny and Elfel. So for Batman, that doesn't seem bad. A fairly light patch, but also a good patch. Nothing too foundationally scary outside of the Wild Assault and Roman Cancel changes. I think those are for the better. It also affects all characters as well. So also light changes, steps over time to seeing the true vision as we lead into the new season of Guilty Gear, which, by the way, Who would have thought? I saw this at Evo, so like this is not like an actual reaction from me since I've already seen it. No! No ad. No ad. Transform. Let me read. Oh my gosh. Sure. Just delete this. And then we'll do it again. We're gonna add the window. There we go. And then also mute Guilty Gear for this one. All right, hold on. Now this is bugging. Hold on. I gotta go into studio mode. There we go. There we go. I didn't do it. There we go. Fixed it. Yay! The trailer, baby. Which they have open beta for going on right now. Team of 3 mode with some assists. People are getting cooked right now. Nice fun way to play Guilty Gear. But Season 4 with a new exclusive color. And this is a wild one here. Returning characters are bringing Dizzy back, which tons of folks are happy. Venom is going to be very interesting to see, but the new character from the anime, yeah, Unica coming out in next year. So wait for the anime to come out, and then we'll be able to release this. Someone made like this very interesting, like connection. Unica looking a lot like Justice in terms of like the glowing eye. There's an art image out there of Justice with a glowing eye. See right there. So that'll be interesting to see if Unica is also a gear. But also, what about one more guest character? What? And also, if that track is in Guilty Gear, that's going to be sick. And Lucy's showing up. I'm not even, like, this just makes sense as a character, a guest character that could show up in Guilty Gear. It seems pretty cool as Lucy being that character, so it'll be interesting. Monowire shenanigans? Okay. All next year. Lots to look forward to for Guilty Gear Strive in the upcoming years here. So I'm certainly excited. Certainly excited to see what's going on in the future Guilty Gear. But that was the patch notes for Guilty Gear Strive, the latest one to hit. Not a bad overview here. I'm just gonna play a little bit of gear, and bear with me. Like I said, I'm still learning on leverless, and this thing is tiny.